Chapter 1. Getting Started. I am going to assume throughout this book that you are an absolute beginner when it comes to playing the piano. So we are going to start from the beginning. The first thing you have to do, if you are going to play the piano, is learn how to read notes. This is, of course, if you are going to try and play a pre-written piece, which, for the sake of this book, I would assume that is what you want to do. When you are reading a piece, you will need to notice that there are 5 lines. Starting at the bottom of these lines represent notes. The bottom line is E, and going up the notes are G, B, D, F. In between these lines you will see spaces. These spaces also represent notes as well. Starting from the bottom space and going up, the notes are F, A, C, E. So using lines and spaces, your notes will go in this order: E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. These lines and spaces are called a staff. At the beginning of each line, you will either have a treble or a bass clef. This is what your music sheet will look like without any notes. The vertical lines you see are called bar lines. These separate the staff into measures. In the example above, there are 4 measures. The beat of this song is determined by the time signature, which will be located after the treble clef sign. It can either be 4/4 or 2/4, or a variety of other beats. And the double bar at the end of the line means the song is finished. We will go over this more later. This is a picture of the notes on the staff. As you can see, the bottom is the bass and the top is the treble. Take note of the middle C. This is the imaginary line that is drawn between the 2 clefs, and this is the note you'll be looking for on your keyboard when you start playing. Once you know how to read your music sheet and keep beat finding, the middle C is all you really have to do to get started playing the piano. As you see, each line and space has 1 note assigned to it. Each of these notes is either A, B, C, D, E, F, or G. When you go above or below the staff, all you have to know is that these notes repeat themselves and there's no other note names. To remember the notes on the treble clef lines, try this. Every good boy does fine. Each letter at the beginning of each word represents a note. In order to remember the notes on treble clef spaces, just remember face, F-A-C-E. For bass clef lines, use this. Good boys do fine always, or G-B-D-F-A. And for the spaces, all cows eat grass, or A-C-E-G. Now let's learn about time signature. Remember I stated earlier that it would be after the clef sign, and look something like 4/4 or 2/4. No matter what the numbers are, it always looks like a fraction, and the top number will tell you how many beats are in each measure, and the bottom number will let you know what kind of note counts as 1 beat. So for 4/4 time, there are 4 beats per measure, and 1/4 note equals 1 beat. This is what a quarter note looks like. In order to complete 1 measure, you will need 4 of these notes. This is what a whole note looks like, and if you are working in 4/4 time, this note would be held for 4 beats. This is a half note, and if you are working in 4/4 time, the note would be held for 2 beats. This is an eighth note. It would take 8 of these to make a whole note, and is only held for a half of a beat. There are, of course, more notes, 16th, 32nd, and so on, but for now, we're just going to focus on these basic notes. The next thing you're going to need to know is about what is called a rest. A rest is when you pause during the music, and just like there are different notes, there are different rest signs as well. This is what we call a whole rest. If you were working in 4/4 time, you would hold this rest for 4 beats. This is a half rest. Just like the half note, if you were working in 4/4 time, you would hold this rest for 2 beats. Quarter rest, eighth rest. The last 2 rests we're going to talk about are the quarter rest and eighth rest. Each of these are held for the same length of time as the corresponding note. Quarter rest is held for 1 beat if you are working in 4/4 time, and an eighth rest is held for half a beat. This is a repeat sign, and is found at the end of a section of music. When you reach the repeat sign, you will go back where the left repeat sign is and play, and if there is no left repeat sign, you will go back to the beginning of the music.